Welcome everyone. This is my first video for YouTube. Decided to start a game channel, but mainly both based around simulations and RPGs. But decided to start off with Star Citizen. This is a game I've been playing for quite some time, so it's definitely a first look. But I figured to start off, and it's a good place to start off with. One of the games that I made this stuff we play on the channels like Fallout 4 or Skyrim. We're going to see Cities Skylines too, but we'll see where we go. But right now we're going to enter the verse and see where we'll start off on the final verse and see where we go from there. But since this is about the last few days of the Invictus launch week, maybe popping over there to check it out since it's the Drake Day and see how it goes and see what ships we check out. Not too much of a fan of the Drake ships, but I guess we'll check them out and also check out the Hunt the Polaris event and see how that goes. We did it once or twice before, we successfully completed it before, but the other times it's glitching out, but we'll see how it goes tonight and how well it goes. So let's all of you join me and see how it goes tonight. Possibly towards the end of the night, we'll pop back to Orson and check the policy and see how it is. Yeah. Explored the city before, but it's also always a good place to check out, even some sites that I've seen before and see some new details that I may have missed on my first go through. Or maybe some of you may have missed some details that we may encounter tonight. So let's head in. It's like the newspaper when you log in. Just give you an idea what's kind of surrounding around the verse. It does get a little old if the same thing keeps popping up every time, but still a nice addition. Bit of a long in time, but hopefully it won't last too much longer. Too long, but just check out the view before we head off to the Spirit Sport. You know what they haven't done ever with Orson, just go around to the different platforms that the shuttle access is not existent. You have to fly to the go by ship. Well, yeah, something to go check out. scouring. Seen too many cowering NPCs too over there in distance. Not as bad tonight, but hopefully not too many. Yeah, first time playing on the Invictus launch week for this year. Trying to get onto these shuttles was a pain in the ass. Something like this, it would be like flying over a place. Like I was trying to do a power slide into empty space, go around. Like I fixed that in what a day or two.
Passengers, the shuttle is preparing to depart.
So there's going to be only taking the shuttles to the different areas of Orson or Aurora this season instead. They like good worse than the best, even though it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get out of the atmosphere, but still a bit good view, and it's still like a good view. When I heard even the have or even one of the other platforms.
Approaching next station. If this is your stop, please prepare to disembark.
Some language in the global chats. Yeah. Probably best to keep that close for the time being.
Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart. Last call for passengers. The shuttle is preparing to depart. Providing connections to all major platforms, Crusader Industries is happy to offer free and convenient transit to all visitors aboard the Orson Skyway shuttle service. Have a pleasant stay.
Sure, the delegation Orson didn't really have any problems. Did have problems with that expo though. Trying to get to the expo hall, get stuck in the elevator. It seemed like it would be going on forever, never actually reached the destination. On that first, I think it was the first night or two. I guess all these NPCs are trying to take that store clerk's job. Or they're all employees and only one is doing the job of what? 20 years? Worker efficiency at its best.
It's a crazy verse.
One craft, any mission. Crusader Industries proudly presents the Hercules, our standard-setting, all-purpose tactical star launcher.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
As the premier ship in its class, it sets the standard.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Contact your Crusader
Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
last attack over to Area 18 to check out this launch week and see what is on offer for Drake Day. Between those I want to family, there's a bit of a toss up between attack and the max. Like the way the max looks, but found that the attack would be more utility. Bunch of spawn beds and more turrets, and it had more than enough cargo for a sure. Ship. Like the Max said, when they eventually release the builder version of this ship, it'd be interesting to see how the builder version looks. Would it be something that would be interested? Probably would just start a new game. Or like the Pioneer, so that may be a little bit too overkill. Or you just have the stuff has to build. In case I just need something a little smaller for something that is big to construct. The flight between Orison and Harcorp. Maybe doing this video relatively raw. Won't be any time cuts in between during the quantum jump. So if you guys don't want to wait for that to go through, so just go ahead and drink your snack while you're waiting.
Quantum travel engaged.
One thing I always thought about the ship pledges, I always thought you should always be able to change what the ownership is based on the pledge ship if it's not available. For me, like, not really that much of a Drake fan. I have the Caterpillar as the owner, so I always figured I'd want the C2 Hercules more than the Caterpillar. The style always appealed to me much more than the Drake ships. Especially also the fact that it holds much more cargo. I wish that you can always change it and even give a few different options based on the class of ship. Like a few tiers up or below whatever the ship you pledge for is. Probably sometime, maybe not tonight, but check out the top of the hull and see it in my EVA. Check it out more in detail. Probably something you can answer if they have PDCs on the top. Can't quite tell from, at least from the lighting from the sun, but somebody will like to check it out in more detail. Area 18 is as bad as chat says it is at the moment. But we'll see. If it is, I'll just backspace back. If it's giving me there. Though one of the neat things about the Starlancer is like, at least with the stock jump drive, it always seems like it's pretty instant once you come off of a long jump to be able to jump to a different location. So it's, I know with the Mercury Star race that have always seemed like it needed to wait like 20 seconds to be able to jump to a different location after a long jump. Yeah, looking forward to when they add distance levels to ArcCorp. See how that will be definitely a sight to see, and see how they expand the lore on this planet and how that works and utilities under the city works, and see what exotic like wildlife and I guess the rogue groups that may live under the city. See how it compares to the underworld at Coruscant. And Star Wars and how they imagine it for Star System.
Shield on.
This will see if the ATC actually responds and gives us a hanger. Or if they're being extremely slow or they're completely glitched out, and we'll do a goddamn thing today. If not, then maybe we'll try to fly directly to the convention center by ship and see if I can actually get in there with the Star Launch attack. Maybe not. It's not for something I've ever tried, but be a new experience for me and maybe a good experience for somebody. see how close I can get to it without being blown up from the sky. That's my average try, but we'll see if that happens.
Warning.
Okay. Guess, I'm gonna take a shit away.
Warning.
Oh. Yep. I'll stick my ship. Oh, at least I'm on Arcorp now. I guess if you're not able to land at Arcorp, fly in your literature so they can power your ship so you can go actually go to the convention center. May as well pay the fine. Probably gonna go play my ship first, just in case.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. I'm sorry, that vehicle is currently impounded.
I'll wait for that to find.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrievals. Vehicle selected.
Stand
Please
by.
visit us again.
Thank you for visiting our home, Stanton's capital of commerce. Whatever your transaction, we wish you a beneficial and prosperous stay.
Probably gonna get one video this week. Probably go check out the different areas of Arcorp. Yeah. Game runs relatively smooth for me. So it was done for quite some time, but most likely there'd be like a 2-3 second pause at certain times. Probably would be a good idea if I was in combo with other players. I don't know if it would be cause issues with PvE. But yeah, so far I haven't really been in any combat situation. First-person combat situations with the stuttering or the freeze. It's always a nice touch with the tram systems for the different major cities in the game. See more on the ground level and see the siege from a different angle when they're working. I haven't had too many problems with the tram systems lately, but maybe except for a few days. We'll see when they actually make it so that NPCs actually board on more than any of the trans systems. Add to the numbers. Show that the actual populace of the planets actually move around once they actually get that to work.
Now arriving. Is an opportunity for the public and the youth.
Ship. I think it's on Iron Tower earlier. Well, not earlier today, but a few days ago. Check it out. Definitely good looking inside. Even if it was kind of Spartan, you don't really see too much going on going inside, but imagine once players more fully man these ships and actually see them more fully crewed by NPCs for any combat missions. Definitely a good day to check out the Invictus launch week. We forgot it was just break today's, now it's all the manufacturers, so you can definitely go check them all out. I think it's one more day after this. For anybody who wants to go check out this, rent any ships and play New Fantasy and take them for a spin. Definitely a good option if you want to make some a good amount of credits, hauling or any other combat missions that may interest you. I did the Scorpius before, but didn't really get a chance to try it during the weekend. Maybe we'll get a chance in a day or two. One thing I kind of do like the look of the Vanguard series. Just wish there were a bit more renewal. Oops. Okay. Another good ship to go for. If you want to try anything again. Definitely a good cargo hauler. Especially with the drop down in the cargo bay. Makes it much easier to load than offload. Tried some other ships with cargo bays. The cargo, I kind of like the idea and like the interior, but tried using that for cargo runs and it was pretty much a pain to load the cargo into the cargo pods. It's good that they kind of open up a little bit more, but I wish there was a bit more and it wasn't so hard to get the crates loaded on there. And Andromeda. It's good all around. Not as big as a cargo bay, but still pretty good. Also probably try to earn the game with a saber as well. For some combat missions. Alright, look nice. Yeah, for any new players, it's probably already well said across many channels that already cover Star System, but definitely a good starship to start if you don't really want to spend very much money. You can do a little bit of everything. Not really what I started with. I remember starting with a Mustang Alpha way back in the day. That was just when they only had like the hangar module. You can really fly to different planets or stations. After a while, I upgraded to this. Another ship that at least make it more viable with the turrets against elite ships or light fighters. I never really encountered combat before. It's not that great at the moment with capital ship play in versus light fighters. See what they do to rectify that. Another ship I'll go for in game, along with the Lightning. Try to use the lighting on one of the Polaris missions. Didn't really work out. It was more due to the mission bugging out and not working properly. But for the little combat I was able to do with it, worked pretty well for me at least. Yeah, for some reason I was also looking for the, I think there's an Argo cargo. I forget what the actual name of the ship is, but I heard that they fixed or changed the cargo loading mechanism so it's more of a unified grid. Wanted to check that out, but I couldn't seem to find it listed on the rental kiosks during the event. We'll see if Consolidate Outland actually releases more ships. So far, only Mustang Delta is the only recognized combat ship for the brand. See if they come with anything in the future. And C2, definitely a very good cargo hauler. Upgrade a MSR to this. Definitely a pretty good choice. Could haul a ton of cargo and a ton of vehicles at the same. Well, do a mixture of both. But definitely do one or the other and take it quite a bit with it. try to take the eye on out, whether on a video or just during my free time. See how it works. From what I hear, that Drake Cutter's pretty good for Starship. Not my style, but understand for those who do like the more utilitarian, stripped down look. Also another good ship if you want to do medical gameplay or just want to run missions but have a mobile respawn point going with you. Probably also the reason why I got attacked is that respawn point is definitely useful, and also if they all carry a good deal of people and ships, well, ground vehicles and cargo go along with it. Those blue, good one for those who want Space Bounty Hunter, wants to hunt down other players or NPCs and cryo in the back. Do some like role playing with it. Also another good, not so much a starship, but if you want to go spend a good deal more, it's a good one to get. A good all-rounder for its class size ship. Yeah. Never really liked the look of Corsair. The only times I ever used the Caliper, I think, was when they used automatic cargo loading for the commodities back. I think it was what, 2.0, before they even had Garrison introduced in the game. Alright, not my cup of tea, but for some of you, I can see you enjoying it. Well, maybe I'll look at this or get the misc, what is it called? Are you gonna have it? Well, I guess they wouldn't have it during the military event. It's kind of weird they have the Drake salvager, but not the misc salvager. The Vulture definitely being a good starting point for people who want to dip their toes in salvaging. Even in the hole. Get you nice and started. Yeah, the Drake had NPC. Probably check it out on the show floor. Like, I like the concept about it. But from what I hear from other players, it's probably a better idea to take a reverse of the T2SCU container along with it than take this with you. So unfortunately you can't rent the MX on this day. You were able to before, I think on the Mystical Variety Day. But so unfortunately you can't do it today. Oh, maybe it's there. Never mind. One thing I didn't like about the Max, I like the overall look and the way that it flies, even though it was a bit slow. But just the side cargo bays, especially with this little wing over here, kind of gets in the way of loading up the side cargo bays for the ship. Kind of have to work around it and try to get the stuff in there. I do like that you kind of cram a bit more into the back where the vehicles would go instead of if you need a little bit more space than what the cargo grid gives you. Also kind of wish you'd be able to stack two ESU containers on top of each other on this ship. So a little disappointing. Freelancer, well, not freelancer. Starfarer Gemini. They could hold us use sizable amount of cargo. But, always found it very awkward getting around inside the ship when was first introduced. Don't know if they changed the layout much recently, but I haven't really been inside one in quite a long time. Freelancer series, definitely good ships to try to get your whatever role you want to get into, whether exploration or cargo or combat. You going quite nicely if you don't want to spend too much in game credits to get a ship to build your way up to larger ships to do whatever role you want to do. The stances I currently have. Maybe I'll get the other twos at some point in the game, but we'll see how that goes.
The latest line of defenders from Aegis Dynamics
Space Mercedes only. This is the combat variants for them. Don't know if they'll ever release larger combat ships for this brand, but we'll see. Right, you know that the 600i and I think the 400i has some decent combat capabilities, so could be mistaken, but still nothing really dedicated to combat. Except for these two versions of the Origin 300 series and 100 series.
pilot experience, more so than any other manufacturer. Their reps and engineers are a common fixture at the Academy
Always
on
like the RSI line. Even the Constellation series. It's also like one of the bigger ships I first got into, upgraded to Constellation Tours. Well, then to a Constellation, no, I didn't upgrade. Say the Constellation Tours didn't upgrade to the MSR. But I just had a Constellation Andromeda as a loaner till the Taurus came out. They even that's when it did. It was already moved over to the MSR by the Taurus by the time the Taurus came out. Could general purpose ground vehicles universally. Maybe the first effect more useful for those who don't have a medical bed or respawn point on their ship. If they want to bring them a portable respawn point, as long if you don't have one on your ship, and you can take it to different spots while you're on missions on the planets. The line I like the look of. I always like the terminal cyclone looks, the different variants. Maybe more of the fan of the AA variant, I think, because it has the option of the turret with the anti-air missile pods on the sides. I think this is the one, but it's kind of definitely one thing they need to fix with this game, with rental chaos being not being able to see the vehicles or ships properly assembled when you're looking at them through here.
For centuries, Invictus has been a time for friends and family to come together and celebrate the duty, service, and sacrifice.
It pans out in a game how they get how they make ground combat more interesting with these ground vehicles in the future, with the limitations they do for the ships force that kind of gameplay or encourage it.
While fights like the Hornet in Gladiator become synonymous with the UEE name, the truth is that with a variety of operations at all parts of the vehicle, the Navy utilized a variety of ships to
Take a quick look at the showroom floor. I don't know about any of you if you played during the Invictus launch week. I've tried, but could not find any scripts in the convention hall. Tried looking extensively, but I don't know, bad timing on my part, or players just beating me to it before I even get to them. But I've not found a skill script while here. This
The UEE Navy small but elite group of vehicle operators trained for a variety of operations. Fully combat search and rescue training, plus with a few non-marine military personnel who are invited to train with the Marines on the hostile environments.
It's good to see the different origins used for the ships, from the bombers to the torpedoes. The torpedoes. And the different components for the ships. Yeah, not sure what's the next. I think this is where you would be able to store some cargo boxes for these vehicles. From what I heard, it's like it's half or a quarter of an SCU for each slot for the back here. So it may not make sense to use this over MRSA. I do like the concept though. They need to be more fleshed out. All two combat suits with a couple weapons extra in here, or 4 weapons in here. The turret, run the turret operator seat. Even though it doesn't really do anything well during the convention.
Public space industries. Enjoy the world. System check.
definitely a departure from previous Invictus launch weeks. This year is pretty much the one haul that doesn't really change. Before they have the different manufacturer ships shown on the show floor and switch out every couple of days for the different manufacturers. But today, or this year, it's pretty much stayed this way for the last over a week. This is a good thing if you ever really want to check the ships. You just check them out from the kiosk. You just spawn them in your hangar so you can do a more thorough look. Samurai Guardian MX. Do like the look, but I do not too much of a fan that they don't have a bed on the back compared to the regular Guardian. Well, who knows, maybe they'll allow us to set up sleeping bags or mattresses on the floor at some point in the game. Get a nice air mattress in here. There's a way to take off the front armor for the cockpit. I remember accessing it before, but I'll show you now. All right there. Here it's pretty tanky there in PvE, but view's a little bit wonky for PvP. This is my opinion. Definitely good amount of cargo for good for a good all-rounder thing like carrying a decent amount of vehicles along the whole taking cargo and taking quite a few friends along the way if you want to do some missions together and not having to worry about being spawned on the other side of this system or Pyro. Good dropship and good combat, ground combat capabilities if you gotta deal with some players. Not sure how well it does in that role, but does sort of look like it does as well in that department. Turret gunners here. This for some of the pirates out of it. For the pirates out of you out there. Yes, the way if you want to do broadsides with other player ships, want to use size guns. probably better to be able to go straight head on, but still, if you want to circle strafe a particular shift, probably wouldn't be too bad idea to do it this way. Rex says to get to the higher floors on the ship. That's one of the main things one of the Crusader line ships always seem to have one point of access. This one is like 2 or 3 different ways to get into the ship. Hercules is the only notable exception where you have the 2 different routes from front to back. Seems like all the other ships only have limited options to get out of the ship running. So I always thought that it was a bit weird with suit lockers in here that they didn't have any gun racks near the suit lockers. In case for those who want to switch up quickly the suit and weapons in the same area, instead of having to go up to the crew quarters area for the ship just to get access to the different weapons on the top. That's the wrong times of the night. Guess it's good to have these close by. Two different washrooms here. And a few times you actually see a reflection in this game. Sure, toilet combo. Pretty well equipped kitchen, but at least from my point of view, I don't see much in the way of cold storage. Could be wrong. There's the fridge. Whatever you store in there will last for 8 players if they try to make it more stimulated. And all good crew quarters area. Definitely, this is intended for the Mariah Fury. For the players who haven't been able to get fit to in here with some difficulty, we took a little launch them quickly, but heard of 2 being fit in here. Always wondered if I can also fit the Pisces in here. Make it more of the mini character that possibly could be. Yeah, something you can look into for myself, but possibly other ways to look. I've tried it and maybe succeeded. Something I haven't looked into checking out other videos if they've accomplished it. Something to check out in the future. And the engineering bay for this ship. change out the different components for the ship. See when they add more to the engineering gameplay of this game. The fuses are usually located. Don't mind that. I know mine has one in each parts of the fuse boxes for the ship. Don't know what the difference would be if a player would put two in each. If it would increase efficiency, or but not really in game, or if it's planned to be in game. Something to look out for in the future. Alright, let's head outside and check out the rest of the expo hall. You know, I was gonna check out more of the Drake ships, but figure while we're here, check it out a little more fully, then see if we can do the $100 mission without too much hiccups. The revised Anvil Hornet. It's Super Hornet. I don't know, I think I look like the Mark IIs better compared to the Mark 1s. Your taste may vary. Can't get into this one, but I think there's one other one in the other halls for the lightning. Could be what you get. I feel like the look of the ship. Look at the flag there almost.
Kind of thing would turn a regular guy into a legend. You know what I mean?
And kind of health, not so much the ships. There's one. I think this is what Asgard. Yeah. This is gonna look good, but for me, it doesn't look that much bigger than the Valkyrie. Could be wrong, but from my perspective, at least from the inside out, it doesn't look that much bigger. Definitely a good ground support ship. If we want to bring a good amount of economy as well. Good amount of forward facing firepower. This has a chain gun on the sides, yeah. You would think they put a glass over here for those sleeping in their bunks while somebody opens their hatch to the vacuum of space. Wouldn't be a very pleasant experience. Or okay. This is for the sleeping quarters. the shark combo. Plant seeds.
The latest line of defenders from Aegis Dynamics have already been battle tested throughout the Empire and beyond. With that kind of success, it's no wonder the Navy
Well, let's start with component access. Let's try to see. Or it's just a jump seat. Okay, Jersey here.
The UEE Navy is proud to welcome Aegis Dynamics back to Invictus launch.
I think these maybe is similar to what the attack has on the sides. Could be wrong. Or from previous Invictus launch trees. You can actually move the turrets a good deal more if you can't shoot them. Because they don't want these going all over the place.
Welcome to the Invictus ship. All of these vehicles are shown select this year's additions to the fleet. With the expanding nature of operations throughout the systems, have a look to see how each of these ships can help defend the Empire.
Where's the medevac?
Just another day then.
If your ship doesn't necessarily have a medical bed to respawn in, good option to bring along with you. It'll still feel like a 2 SU cargo container in here to be more easy to loot to whatever location or origin you're currently at. Just take a passenger on, sitting down in the seat and bed. All the cargo containers in the back. Still has some firepower on top.
As my pop says, you can't control life, just gotta live it the best you can.
This is the APC version of this ship, or this vehicle. Yeah. This is the Centurion.
But my little Jupiter any day now. Seems
Oh,
like
Spark.
it's fine.
Never mind.
Ducks to help me clear out the deck.
Ballista for missiles for the anti-air. Which one this is? Let's say sure. So AA guns pretty much for this one. Terminal Novas. See if they add any other heavy tanks to the game. These have size 5 or 6 gun mini turrets. Not exactly sure. I like the look of them. I like the interior for what it is. I'm not sure how they do in combat at this time, but see how that pans out with the game changes they make to the current ship. Tunnel cyclones. It's combo ground and air version. Even can deal air targets if they get too close. I think there's size 2 missiles, I think. Guess you want to add more. I think this is what, autocannon? You want to switch out the main gun on the terminal with this instead of the regular minigun? Oh, this is a Gatling gun. Okay. Designed to replace the standard Nova Nova tank cannon. You're ready to face overwhelming ground forces head on using the high-powered weapon with superior damage output and a devastating rate of fire. So sci-fi. Okay. So sci-fi is weapon for this. The vehicle is all front main cannon, but it is sort of the usual. I think there was a bit of controversy with the different weapon modules of the game. I think it was a week or two ago. We're trying to sell them separately out of the state store instead of trying to burn the game. So it's something that players as a whole have to kind of push back on them. Try to keep them more grounded and not fly too close to the sun, I guess, in a way. Terminal storm. Don't think that's the usual minigun. This is a good solo tank. Has some heavy firepower and some good deal of protection. But I don't want to have a 2 extra crew just man it. I just want to drive around by itself. This is a weapon slaughterer. Components. Fuel ports, I think. Driver's seats. You're driving, it's not much point to check it out, it's not that exciting inside there. What did you got? It's a vehicle. Escape my life. See if I can escape from here. Please someone help. I've fallen down and can't get up, and there's wolves after me. Don't want to backspace back to Orson just yet. I wasn't a good idea to get on top of this tank.
More so than any other manufacturer. Their reps and engineers are a common fixture at the Academy and naval bases to try and get first-hand accounts of what works and what doesn't.
Let's see if we can get the driver's seat, see if that helps. well, I guess a actual heal. I don't really consider this a good warthog substitute.
The Navy utilized a variety of ships, including some models made for the private sector.
Definitely like the Vanguard line. Just wish they were more viable for PvP. Definitely hear the good things that do hear that pretty good for PvP, but I mean, not so much for the PvP aspect. We dealing with players well versed in that. We used to have this. Melted it down. Okay, let's get a few ships to the other ones we're using the game credits to do so. Definitely something to earn back in the game once I'm able to do so. Especially once you get it more properly fixed and more combat capable. At least in the PvP aspect. This is what the Redeemer, I think. Let's see here. Yep. Redeemer. Okay. Probably something no one probably ever did, but do like the look of it. Crew quarters on the bottom, the jump seats are on the top floor, I think. Kind of a little backwards, but this is what it is, I guess. Gun racks. Don't think there's suit lockers on here. If I had more time, I'd probably check out the hammerhead more. high seas line, pretty good, like some ships that take on. Take quite a few people, and this one, no real cargo grid, but it's still fit decent amounts with freestyle with the cargo boxes in here. A good medical bed for responding when bite dust. Terrapin medevac is for those high value VIPs that got urgent need to get quickly out of Dodge and be as heavily armored as possible. Ship from our side, Mantis, for those who want to pull people out of the quantum drive at certain points in either Instead and Pyro. If you want to be a power players, or if you're a pirate, then you're doing piratey things, so okay. That's something that like to encounter or deal with you afterwards, but nothing is something you gotta deal with. Back in the day, you'd actually be intercepted by NPCs by these things. Pull it out of quantum. Get it somewhat often, but not all good. I had that ready for quite a long time. Because they 2 or 3 years since they had that. The NPCs sort of nice. I mean, it caused a lot of problems as well. The server lag. Down over here. Versus version, or inspired by the X-Men version of it. Yeah. Keep wanting to try this out in combat, see how it plays. Play or get the time to do so. Mariah Guardian. This is one I think does have a bit. It does. Little kitchenette. Washroom, shower. I think this is one that has 2 size 5s for guns. I think the Invictus has 4 size 4s.
Invictus Launch Week is a great opportunity to see what tactics have worked. As members of
Try to wrap this up and see if we can catch the last mission. Definitely stay here and find that in Discord. Good like the fighters, very notable and speedy. In the hall, in case your character gets hungry or needs a drink.
Invictus has been a time for friends and family to come together and celebrate the pillars of duty, service, and civic pride. Service. We salute those taking their first step to their new life in the
Look at this game and try and rush as you arrive.
Tram now leaving the station. Stand clear of the doors. Tram now leaving the station. Stand clear of the doors.
I think I've seen fellows back in the highway animation down there before, but I could be wrong. They add like a bunch of the smaller ships to those roll cars or hover cars, whatever they may be.
the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Tac.
Vehicle selected. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. Please visit us again. Goodbye. Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system. I'm sorry, that is an invalid request. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
This is bugged up.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Yo. Can you get...
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
Yo, can you give me a ride up to the port to Bajini? Please?
So, if you're talking to me, the...
Oh, you're just bugged too?
Yeah, I'm stuck as well.
Oh, shit.
Sorry about that. Just about a backspace to horse
to the
anyway.
ASOP vehicle retrieval system. I'm sorry, vehicle selected. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Never mind, surface. Sorry, taking a food bites to eat. Okay. Alright. Maybe call it here tonight. This video is already much longer than I intended. Getting close to 2 hours here now. But yeah, definitely try that again in the morning. I'll post a video. Me attempting the Hunter Polaris mission. Hopefully there's no issues, sorry. No issues attempting it. And that all the objectives pop up properly. But yeah, thank you all for joining me tonight in my not so first steps into Star Citizen. And checking out a little bit of horse and then checking out the Expo Hall for Invictus launch week on the finale for it. You'll be able to see all the ships, well, military and support ships you use for the lore game. Yeah. Thank you again. Thank you for all joining me night. And for all of you to have a great night. Sleep well.